Math is not magic, it's just basic manipulation of data. Hey guys, this is the High School Scientist, and the aim of this video is to show you how stupidly easy integral calculus can be. So, in your high school, teachers might have taught you that integral calculus is just the opposite of differential calculus, and would probably have given you a bunch of formulas to memorize. But it's also important for you to know why the formulas of calculus work the way they work. So in this video, I'll be explaining what integration really is and help you know how amazing calculus or math in general can be. So as said earlier, math is math and not magic. You do need enough data to get the answer you want. So for example, to find the total distance traveled by the car in some amount of time would require two very important pieces of information: the total amount of time taken to complete the journey and velocity of the car throughout that interval of time. And with these two pieces of information, we can find out the distance traveled by the car from any starting point to any ending point. And the method which we are going to use to find this answer is integral calculus. So we know that differential calculus could be helpful for finding the rate of change at an instance. But to find the total area under this graph, we have to know the function of this graph. Like every continuous graph can be defined by a function, and as an example over here, we have a graph which can be defined by this function, where t can be any value from 0 to 10. And finding the antiderivative, aka an integral of this function, would give us the answer. Okay, you might feel a bit confused over here, so let's just find the area under this graph. So the antiderivative of this function can be found by assuming this function to be an already derived version of something. Just think of this as something which has already been derived from something else. For example, the derivation of x cubed is 3x squared, and the antiderivative of 3x squared is x cubed. Just like that, we have to find the antiderivative of this function. So the antiderivative for 10t should be 5t squared, and for t squared, it should be something like 1 by 3 t cubed. So the antiderivative of this function is 5t squared minus 1 by 3 t cubed. And that's it. Now we can give any input value, like let's say I want to know the distance traveled by the car in 6 seconds. So I replace t with 6 and find the total distance traveled by the car in 6 seconds. But there is one small problem with this method. Derivatives have a hard time dealing with constants, as the derivative of a constant is 0, and because of this you can add any constant value to the equation and the integration will not change. So that's why we have to add a variable value plus c to the antiderivative. This represents the extra value if there's any, but there is a way to overcome this problem. We can add a third piece of information to the question. We can limit the integration to a starting and ending point. Like for example, I would want to know the distance traveled by the car from 3 to 9 seconds. So I first calculate the distance from 0 to 9 seconds and then subtract it from the distance traveled in 0 to 3 seconds. So this third piece of information gave us all the necessary data to compute the distance traveled by the car at any given interval of time. This also removed the problem of the constant, because now we exactly know how much of the area under this graph is being integrated. Okay, I know that it might feel weird to say that the area under this graph is equal to some distance, but it's nothing to worry about, as in reality we are not finding the area of this particular shape. We have divided this shape into many little rectangles whose width is dx and the height depends upon the function. But as said earlier, dx is always considered a tiny little change which approaches 0. So when dx gets smaller and smaller, the total number of rectangles required to fill up this area approaches to infinity. The sum of all these rectangles, and by knowing the limits of this function, we can precisely find the total area under this graph, aka the distance traveled by the car at any given interval of time. And that is just amazing. So I hope this video made you understand the underlying meaning of integral calculus, or at least made you think about it. And if it did, then just spread the word, let your friends and classmates know about this channel. This is the High School Scientist signing off.